Hey, everybody, what's going on? I am Gregg Sussman, joined today by Tom Vecchio of FanDuel, who's here to go over the top NBA plays on tonight's FanDuel slate. What's going on, Tom?
I'm doing good. 10 games to start the NBA week, so let's go.
Leading us off tonight, Bam Adebayo, Miami Heat's big man. He's priced $9,100. Very, very reasonable for Bam. Going up against the Charlotte Hornets and going up against Cody Zeller.
So it's a great spot for Bam Adebayo. He has been arguably the most consistent player for the Heat this season. We know they're dealing with a ton of injuries, players in and out of their lineup. Jimmy Butler came back. They're still missing Tyler Hero, et cetera, et cetera. So really, it doesn't matter who's in or out of the lineup for the Heat. We see his usage rate sitting, between 19 and 25%, producing 1.27 to 1.41 FanDuel points per minute, depending on who's in the lineup. So we're getting solid production now. Regardless if they start Kelly Olynyk at center or we see Bam Adebayo starting at center or power forward, it's an amazing matchup for him. Charlotte is allowing 54.14 FanDuel points per game to opposing power forwards. That's dead last in the league. They're allowing 53.20 FanDuel points per game to opposing centers. That's right around league average because so many teams are bad against centers this year. So it really doesn't matter where he starts, who's in and out of the lineup, what injuries they may or may not have. Bam Adebayo is putting up a double-double on almost a nightly basis and one of the top power forwards on tonight's slate.
As you said, arguably the most consistent player in the NBA this year. At $9,100, it doesn't matter where he's starting. It doesn't matter who he's going against. Bam Adebayo should be locked and loaded in your FanDuel lineup. Speaking of big men, the Minnesota Timberwolves, they've been struggling defensively against, everybody. Point guards, shooting guards, and, of course, up to the big man. And Andre Drummond for the Cleveland Cavaliers, he faces this not-so-great defense tonight. Drummond is priced at $8,800 for the Cavs, and he also in a good spot facing this hapless Minnesota D.
Yeah, exactly. And we saw him do that last night against Minnesota. They're both playing each other again, second night of a back-to-back. Last night, Drummond posted, I want to say, what is a classic Drummond line of 25 and 22. And that shouldn't come as a surprise because, like you said, Minnesota can't guard anyone, specifically centers, as they're allowing 61.34 FanDuel points per game opposing centers. That's dead last in the league. So we are getting just an amazing matchup for Drummond, which at a price tag, which I want to say is very, very affordable tonight, under $9,000. Right now, we see a 27% usage rate for him with 1.80 FanDuel points per minute, given the current starting lineup for the Cavaliers. So under $9,000 for Andre Drummond against Minnesota, I'll certainly take him.
Absolutely. The Andre Drummond price is too good to pass up. So let's take advantage here tonight. A 20-20 classic Andre Drummond line, says Tom, which leads us to believe here against Minnesota, he could be just as good. One final player to get to here on tonight's slate, and that is the Sacramento Kings' De'Aaron Fox. Fox and the Kings are facing off against the New Orleans Pelicans, and New Orleans are another team that is paced up, but defensively just not as good as Stan Van Gundy wants them to be. Fox is $8,200 tonight on FanDuel, and why him over all the other point guard options on this big-time slate?
Speaking of the Pelicans' defense, as you said, not where they want it to be this year, they're allowing 15.8 made three-pointers from their opponents per game. That is dead last in the league. And we know the ceiling Fox has when it comes to scoring. This season, he's taking more three-pointers per game above his career average, and he's making more of them above his career average, based on the percentage. So we are getting an immense ceiling. We're dealing with a 233 over-under, which is very solid. The Pelicans are allowing the 10th most FanDuel points per game to opposing point guards, sitting at 48.05. We see him carrying a 29.7% usage rate, posting 1.33 FanDuel points per minute. Everything is lining up for De'Aaron Fox tonight. And again, another reasonable salary, $8,200 against a weak Pelicans defense.
No, the top stars we're recommending here, over 10K, which allows you to get probably at least two or if not three of them into your lineups and build around there. De'Aaron Fox, that final piece against the New Orleans Pelicans tonight in a really, really good spot. Just $8,200 in a game that should be pretty high scoring with that high total, as Tom mentioned. That's going to do it for us here on the FanDuel Hurry Up. Tom, we appreciate the time. Good luck tonight.
Same to you. Talk to you at the end of the week.
Absolutely, if not before then. Tomorrow on the show, Davis Maddock will join us as we go over his top picks for the PGA Tour here this week. Coming after Patrick Reed's victory with a little bit of an asterisk. We'll see what Davis has to say tomorrow. For Tom Vecchio, I'm Gregg Sussman. Thanks so much for watching. Enjoy the games tonight, and we'll see you back here tomorrow for another edition of the FanDuel Hurry Up.